Erik.
Welcome to Inside the Jets. We are broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. We have a great show in store for you this evening. Jason Myers is here, as is the Tasmanian Devil, Rontez Mile E. But first off, it is Veterans Day, and I would like to say that we have to thank all those in our military, men, women, those who are done serving, those continue to serve abroad, and their families for their constant sacrifices each and every day. There is no greater sacrifice than giving yourself for the betterment of others.
Absolutely. Thank you to all the servicemen and women and their families. This is a special day, a somber day for a lot of people, who have lost some people close to them, people who have sacrificed for our country. So thank you and salute. Happy Veterans Day, everyone.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And we all, as Americans, have a duty to remember those folks who come back, because a lot of people are in need of support here in this country. And I was very proud of the Jets, and I've been very proud of the National Football League overall in this Salute to Service Week.
Yeah, it has been great. The NFL players getting involved with the servicemen and women. It's really been a special thing. A lot of the current players have family members who have served, who are serving right now. So it's always great to make that connection.
Yeah, okay. So we're not bearing the lead. We had to get that out of the way. We have to pay our proper respects. But the New York Jets, Todd Bowles summed it up. We stunk it up against the Buffalo Bills, a 41-10 loss at MetLife Stadium. What happened, E?
Man, these are always tough to talk about. These games where you come out during the week, have a great week of practice, and for some reason, somehow, some way, things just don't go your way from the jump, and you never really recover. And that's what happened with the Jets. The Bills, they're going against the Bills. They signed Matt Barkley, who signed with the team, I think, 11 days before the game. There's a receiver who had activated the day before the game,
right,
and came out, the first play, hit him with the big play. Second play, they scored a touchdown. Sometimes it just looked like they weren't ready to play. I'm sure they were. Listen, the hay is in the barn. I'm sure they had a great week of practice. But sometimes when you get out there to the field, the other team just sets the tone, and that's what it looked like. Buffalo dominated the line of scrimmage. They were out physical, the Jets, and it's a tough thing to go through, but it's a learning lesson for the Jets.
Why does it not translate from what is happening on the practice field? Because to a man in the Jets locker room, they said, from Wednesday to Friday, we hit it. We hit everything we had to. We were ready for this ball game.
There's a few different reasons on why that can happen. Maybe the Buffalo gave them a look that they weren't expecting. I know they came out swinging, with the deep ball at the beginning of the game, which I would have done as well. Tremaine Johnson was
just
out.
coming back from a quad
He was out
injury
for several weeks with a quad injury. You got to test that. Make sure he's 100% healthy, and that's what they did that first play. Tremaine, to his credit, came back and played a very solid game. But, every once in a while when they throw that punch, Mike Tyson says it, everyone has a game plan until they get punched in the face. Right. And the Jets got punched in the face early and often, and it really changed the tone of the game.
Defensively, you as a guy who played in this league for multiple years, can you get into it as far as everybody's got to be taking care of their own individual assignment, 11 players? Because if one guy is not taking care of his assignment, things can go all awry. You talked about the first play. That's just a one-on-one go route. Mm-hmm. The second play, Shady McCoy, 3 guys are in the same gap, and he goes dancing in for a touchdown.
Well, when I went back and looked at that second play, to me, the Jets were in the wrong personnel.
Okay.
The first play, the Buffalo Bills came out with 2 tight ends, 2 receivers. Their Jets were in their base defense. The next play, they took out a tight end, added a receiver. The Jets never adjusted. They came out in a formation, I think, that they hadn't practiced, and there was some confusion because no one was guarding the slot receiver. One guy motioned over. No one was guarding the slot receiver. Jamal Adams got pinned inside. There was no one to contain the run, and Marcus May was the only guy who had an opportunity from the deep middle to make that tackle, which, 9 times out of 10, a safety with Shady McCoy in the open field is not going to work out.
Did you expect the offense to continue to have some sort of struggles? Because this has been a scuffling unit, and this is the first time Josh McCown, who is an accomplished veteran in the National Football League, but this is a guy in his 16th year who has not had the rock for almost a calendar year. You got to go back to week 13 of the 2017 season, the last time he was on the field.
Well, I'm not going to lie. I thought that this was going to be an explosive offensive game for the Jets.
Okay.
I know Josh McCown had a lot of success last year. He had a great week. I have a lot of confidence in him. He's had a great career, and he's going to continue to play great football. But before this game started, I said, listen, this offense is probably going to click. Josh McCown has seen a lot of different defenses in his life, and it's going to show Sam Darnold how things are going to be run, how things should be run. But, unfortunately, the D-line for Buffalo got pressure early. There were some 3-and-outs, and you kind of lose that momentum, especially when you get behind in points. When it's 14-0, it's hard to stick to your game plan. It's hard to be disciplined running the football, throwing play action passes, and it kind of throws off the offense and the thing that you've been doing all week.
Inside the Jets is supported by Selective Insurance. Response is everything. How do the Jets respond to this? They're heading into their bye. As a player, are you happy to get away from everything right now at this point?
Yes and no. Obviously you want to go into your bye with the victory and with some momentum. It's always tough because you go into the film room and it's one of those sessions that everyone has to take it on the chin. I'm sure there was very few guys in that film room that can hold their head up high after a loss like this. It's one of those games that you learn from. You take it on the chin. You understand where you messed up, where you need to improve, and you move forward. You can't hang on to it. You can't let it linger because at the end of the day, it's not going to help you.
What is the identity of the New York Jets right now, and what do you think it should be?
Well, I think the identity has stayed true. They're a tough physical defense that dominates. They didn't dominate last week.
No, and that was the biggest surprise of that ball game is the Bills' offensive line that had struggled blocking basically everybody throughout the year. They helped the Bills total more than 200 yards on the ground.
Well, you know what? Every once in a while that things click for your offensive line. You look at the Jets playing against the Denver Broncos. They were one of the top run defenses in the world, and the Jets ran for 300 yards on them. So every once in a while you hit one of those games where the fits are a little different, where things don't look the same and they get blurry, and all of a sudden you're behind a bunch of points. I still think the identity of this team is a physical, hard-nosed football team that runs the ball first, dominates the line of scrimmage, and I think they'll get back to that. They're having some injuries. They're a very young team. I don't think anyone expected the Jets to go undefeated this year, but at the same time, they want to see progress, and the Jets definitely took a step back this week.
Well, offensively, what is the challenge right now? What are teams doing, no matter what the personnel is in the game, because we've seen a lot of different guys in there for the Jets. Robbie Anderson, the person that you count on to take the top off of defense, obviously he wasn't in the lineup yesterday.
I think teams are stopping the run early, and that's what I would do against the Jets, because if the Jets can run the football well, it opens up their entire offense. It allows Robbie Anderson to get one-on-one coverage. When they stop the run early, you get behind in points. They can sit back and cover two, double team the biggest threats. They can play cover two coverage, keep those corners up in Quincy and Nunwa's face, eliminating some of those screen passes that the Jets had so much success running at the beginning of the year. And it just complicates things.
Were they dropping the safety down a lot yesterday, or were they playing the two deep?
Well, I think early in the game, they were dropping the safety down to stop that run. But once you get that lead, you can kick back and play cover four. You can play cover two coverage. Let your defensive line force the hand of the offense, because you understand that this team needs to throw the ball to catch up, and the defensive line can pin their ears back.
In Buffalo, a former columnist for the Buffalo News, Jerry Sullivan, he wrote today, the Jets will be better off than the Bills if Sam Darnold winds up being a better quarterback than Josh Allen. The fate of the two AFC East rivals comes down to which young quarterback will be better equipped to lead the way when Tom Brady calls it quits in New England. So Sam Darnold was not on the field against the Buffalo Bills. Either was Josh Allen. A lot to get to. I want you to think about that, but we're going to come back with the aforementioned Rontez Miles. We are just getting started here on Inside the Jets.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium, teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. At EY, they harness their veterans' potential and perspective to ensure success in the marketplace. Using their talents and strengths, they not only enhance their business, but they continue their critical mission to build a better working world. Visit ey.com/US/veterans for more information.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
Jet fans, take your Sunday to another level with the premier Jets pregame party at Club Prime Sport. Enjoy food and drinks, games and giveaways, plus live entertainment. Elevate your game day at MetLife Stadium with a Jets experience like no other. Go to primesport.com or call 877-527-2603 today to secure your spot at the official Jets pregame hospitality at Club Prime Sport. With Prime Sport, it's more than a game, it's an experience. Primesport.com.
Around my house, I'm called difficult. I know what I want, and I always want more. Take my insurance, for instance. I want more coverages, but there's no chance I'm paying more for it. My agent knows this, and that's why she recommended the Selective Edge. With the Selective Edge, I get higher coverage limits and even coverages I didn't know I need. And my agent knows what discounts I deserve. More coverage, more options, less money. That's not too difficult, is it? Find an agent near you by visiting Selective.com. Selective. Response is everything.
Bet online, just like in a casino, anywhere in New Jersey with 888. Yes, casino games, live dealer, and more at 888.com. It's fun, fun, fun at 888. So bet now. 888 is a proud sponsor of the JETS Jets. 888 encourages responsible gaming. Players must be 21 or older to play and in the state of New Jersey. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hi, football fans. This is Director Jared Maples with the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. It's our mission to protect New Jersey with our federal, state, and local partners. Of course, nobody knows our communities better than the people who live there. That's where you can help. If you see something that you suspect is out of the ordinary, report it. Together, we can keep our state safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. To learn more about what to look for, visit njhomelandsecurity.gov.
Adventure University School of Professional Studies. With accelerated scheduling and competitive pricing, it's convenient for busy adults to earn an MBA, undergraduate degree, or certificate. Centenary graduates work in hot fields like social media marketing, criminal justice, data analytics, health administration, and sports management. At Centenary University, they're committed to your success. Learn more at sps.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Handoff, Crowell starts to his right, cuts it back to the left, turns the corner, and he's going to walk into the end zone with a Jet touchdown. Isaiah Crowell saw the defense collapse inside. He bounced it outside left and got in the front left corner of the end zone, and the Jets dent the Bills' end zone for the first time today.
Welcome back to Inside the Jets. Jets Rewards members, don't forget to enter code TOUCHBACK in your Jets Rewards portal during the show to earn 100 points. Erik Allen here alongside Erik Coleman. Our player guest segment is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Let's bring in our first player guest, safety Rontez Miles. Tez, thank you so much for coming out tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Tez, what happened yesterday?
Oh, man.
How do you explain it?
I mean, it's easy. You can just watch the game and see we got outplayed. They wanted it more. Hats off to Buffalo. They came in and took the game.
Now, coming out for the game, you guys had a great week of practice, right? And what is it like when the team you're playing comes out and throws a series of blows. I know everybody on the team wanted to bounce back and recover, but when you just can't do it. What is that like? How frustrating was it on the sidelines and on the field?
It's very frustrating, but Coach Bowles is one of the main guys that reminds you to stay calm. He was saying to me the whole game, just stay calm, keep the guys together. Like it happens, it's the NFL. And I remember my first year here, we was playing Green Bay, 2013. I wasn't playing, but I was watching the game, and we were up 27-3. And in high school and college, the game's over at that point. Mm-hmm. But I seen these guys come back and win, and I'm like, man, this is really the NFL. Like anything's possible. So it happens day in and day out, and yesterday was our day.
What was the message to the team today before you guys departed for the bye when Coach Bowles got you in there and you did review that game film?
He said it. He said, man, watch the film and, be able to look yourself in the mirror, and as simple as that. We watch the film and we know what the mistakes are and how to fix them, but it's on us. Coaches can't make us play better, and just basically be ready to come back to work, and we got 6 games left, and we're going to do whatever we take to win them.
Now, what was it from the defensive side of the ball? Was it guys pressing? Was it trying to make too many plays, not trusting one another, or what was it that you saw on the film?
I would say that, man, just alignment and assignment. It's like we have to be more consistent with that. When we're doing our job and everybody's on the same page, we're lights out, and it showed this season. And that comes with a mixture of roster, a lot of young guys. It comes with chemistry things, and the chemistry is pretty good. Mm-hmm. But you still got a lot of young guys. You got new guys in new spots. We're still trying to build a chemistry amongst each other. But if you're consistent in your job, you'll have success. So we just got to be more consistent.
Mm-hmm. Now, you played all your snaps on special teams Sunday.
Yep.
Do you think defensively, before we start getting into you individually, do you think defensively guys can press because they want to make a play, and you guys are so desperate for those momentum-changing plays that you were getting early in the season?
Right. I don't think guys are pressing. I think, just being a natural competitor, you want to make a play. And like I said, that comes with age. Like when I came in, I was with a lot of older guys, man, and we have a lot of athletes now. We have a stacked roster, I feel like, and compared to, like, 2013, I seen pace, and I seen these guys. We had a great D-line, but them guys didn't do nothing extra, and they did their job. And it shows you, like, just growth. They probably didn't always play like that. I made mistakes in the past. I won't make no more, but it's just growing pains. And I feel like them guys, each game they're learning that they can't do what you want. Secondary, D-line, linebackers, whoever you are, you got to do your job, and it's one big piece of the puzzle, so.
Now, you just overcame an injury, came back, missed the first part of the season. You've overcome a lot in your life.
Yeah.
But how much does it make you appreciate the game once you get back on the field with your brothers?
July 27th, like Erik Coleman was just saying, Taz, you were placed on the PUP list.
Yeah.
And that was a long wait for you to return to the field.
It was tough, man. I mean, you love football, and even the more you get, you get older in the game, you kind of think like, what am I going to do after football, or you start getting them thoughts in your mind. But when this injury happened, I was like, man, I could play for another 5 years. Or, you start missing the game so much, and you don't know how much it affects your life until it's gone. And I mean, shoot, that was the longest wait of my life, and I'm just happy it's back.
What did you miss most about it?
Being sore, bleeding, like sweating with working with your boys. When you go to war and win or lose, you can look each other in the face and they're like, man, I had your back, you had mine. It's like just that feeling, like with your brothers, going to war with your brothers.
I know you guys aren't getting this team success that you want after 10 games, 3-7 overall on a 4-game slide. But what did you think? Because you are a core performer on these special teams units for Brant Boyer. You had 26 tackles last year. So productive. What did you think when you saw these guys balling out like they did early in the season?
Yeah.
Because that's been a consistent element of the Jets that you almost can count on each week, that you guys are going to play sound special teams.
Yeah, man. This is big, and I love the new guys, the new energy, man. We got Jason coming up soon, too. We got
Jason Myers, of course.
Man, I love the new group, man. And watching it was crazy, but now that I'm back, they're like, they know I'm still trying to shake the rust off, but they like right there with me, like, yeah, we're all back together, like this is the time. But Coach Ward does a great job calling what he calls, getting us lined up and getting us ready. And like I said, I've been here this long, and I had a different special team coach every year, so this is the first time I had the same one for the last few years. So not only to hear something for the first time and then kind of put your faith in it, but to see it. Like, I see the production. I see what he's saying works, so it's big.
And can you talk to that? What does it mean having your same special teams coach? Because there are a lot of nuances in how you cover a kick, how your special team coach wants you to block a return. Yeah. Can you talk about how second nature that must become after having them twice in a row?
Oh, man, it's amazing. I mean, like I said, the first few years has been different, and there's different leg stands and how he wants you to block and how to count it, and everything's the same, but the terminology is always different, as you know. So it's something simple right in your face, but it's called something else. So you won't pick it up as fast. But having the same coach, like, I can go to sleep and think it. Like, it's just clockwork, and it just help you play a lot faster, and help you also help the other guys around you, with their plays and everything. And we talk the whole time, and it's great having them.
Can you talk about, you mentioned in 2013 when you had some of the older guys on the team and how your team has progressed. Can you talk about the change in culture from 2013 to present day?
Changing culture.
Like, how has it been? Because I feel the energy. I feel like when you go up to New England, everybody's confident that you'll go beat the Patriots.
Yeah,
it wasn't always like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was an older group when I first came in, so you had more guys that are poised, so to say. So in moments of that time, like New England, or any time when it's a big game, or a Monday night, or a night game, it's more so these guys are just comfortable in the element. They don't need to get hyped to perform. Where you got some young guys now, and the energy's amazing, but sometimes if you too hot-headed and you playing too crazy, you can make a mistake. Yeah. That happens all the time. So the culture is still pretty much the same. I just feel like there's definitely more energy with the younger group, and they all want to win. The old group and this group, we all want to win. We just got to figure it out.
Inside the Jets was presented by EY, Building a Better Working World. Erik Allen with Erik Coleman here at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Rontez Miles is here, a fan favorite, of course, who's been back on the field the last 2 games. How are you specifically being used on special teams so far in your return back to action?
Filling in where I've been at as of lately over the last past years, but more so now I'm trying to get more in. Coach is trying to get me more in the rushing, the punter.
Okay.
Block some punts. I blocked a few in college. Me and Bruce Carter caught one in the preseason, so I'm capable of doing it. But other than that, everything is pretty much the same as last season. Pretty smooth. Just trying to get back into the field, being myself. That's all.
So when you bounce back from that injury, can you explain a little bit, like, what was your day like coming back from an injury? Because I don't think fans understand how much dedication, how much work it takes to come back from an injury so quickly.
Man, you're the first one in the building out of all the players. You're going to be the last one in the building. You do everything the team do except practice, including extra rehab, work, weight room. So I'm up at 5:30. I'm already doing everything before my son even get on the school bus. Like, I done did.
Give him a shout out. Give him your shout.
Give him a shout out. My son over there,
Rontez
Miles Jr.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
I call him Deuce with the Juice.
Okay, I love that.
And that's my brother's girlfriend, Ashley Brown, over there.
Hey, Ashley. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Hey, listen.
Deuce with the Juice.
Hey, you worked really hard in the rehab, but continue that. But I also want to hear about this jersey. It says Rontez Miles Sr. on your jersey now, right?
Yeah. We'll get into that. When we get into that now, actually?
Well, you go treatment wherever you want to go here.
Well, actually, so this is my 8-year-old son. He's with me full time now. So this is his first year up here with me, and it's like, it was a way to remind myself, because he always call him Deuce, which also means two, but it means something else. But I'm like, man, what can I do something to show him, like, this is me, the dad. So senior thing came from him. It just makes me go harder, know what I'm playing for. It's on my back, and it also shows him like anything's possible. He went to the game, he loved it. Everything's in reach for him, and he's a big reason to the name change.
Now, you had a rough upbringing. Now, you spend a lot of time talking to the youth as well.
Yeah, I do.
Now, why do you feel like that's important for you to connect with the youth and put that positive message in their life?
Man, because we had a couple guys come in and speak, but I never had like something I was intrigued in. Like, if a football player would have came to my school and spoke to me, I feel like it would have changed me. But more so, it's important because I come from where they come from. It ain't like I was born with everything and I just went to Division I. And whatever you could say, that's a perfect path. I'm nowhere near that. And most of these kids are living that same life. And the best way to reach them is to show them somebody that did it, you know. So I'm doing one actually. We'll go back home. So I do need to reach the youth and doing some camps and stuff as well.
Keep up that good work, man. That's important.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Last one here.
Go.
Jamal Adams.
Yeah.
Have you seen him take a step in year 2, and where have you seen the most growth?
I definitely, and it's crazy because me and him go back and forth all the time. We both live guys, you know, live wires, but he made a dramatic step, man, and I remember telling him, it was like probably not even a full week ago, I'm like, man, you're getting better, I said, but you have no clue where you can go. Like I said, the next 3 years, you're going to be beyond what you can even think of. So don't ever feel like you're there or you made it, you know what I mean? And, you know, him, he said he agreed. Like, I know I'm going to get better. Like, he's a very confident guy, though, but it's crazy. He made a big leap, man, just from play calling, and he does a great job that a lot of safeties that I played with in the past years don't do. He diagnoses the play. He can read the front. He actually has, like, a vision like a linebacker, which I give credit to our coach. Denard, he does a great job teaching that, but for him to be that young in his second year and grasp that fast and play that fast, sky's the limits with Jamal.
We got to have you come back on. I always love this spot. He is Rontez Miles Sr. And thank you to Junior for coming out tonight. And then we will come right back with another special teams excellent performer for the New York Jets. That's kicker Jason Myers.
Yes, sir.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
Around my house, I'm called difficult. I know what I want, and I always want more. Take my insurance, for instance. I want more coverages, but there's no chance I'm paying more for it. My agent knows this, and that's why she recommended the Selective Edge. With the Selective Edge, I get higher coverage limits and even coverages I didn't know I need. And my agent knows what discounts I deserve. More coverage, more options, less money. That's not too difficult, is it? Find an agent near you by visiting Selective.com. Selective. Response is everything.
Advance your career at Centenary University's School of Professional Studies. With accelerated scheduling and competitive pricing, it's convenient for busy adults to earn an MBA, undergraduate degree, or certificate. Centenary graduates work in hot fields like social media marketing, criminal justice, data analytics, health administration, and sports management. At Centenary University, they're committed to your success. Learn more at sps.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Every time you close your laptop, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your to-do list is to do one less thing, a Corona gets its lime. Every time you press pause. Every time you unwind or lose track of time, a Corona gets its lime. And every time your feet are up while the sun goes down, a Corona gets its lime. So drop a lime in and find your beach. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, Jets fans, New Jersey Motor Vehicle Chief Administrator Sue Fulton here to welcome you back for a brand new season of action-packed NFL football and to warn you about the dangers of texting while driving. Sure, fines and penalties are steep, but did you know you're also 23 times more likely to get into an accident if you text and drive? Or that taking your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds at highway speeds is like traveling the length of a football field blindfolded? That's not a winning drive, Jets fans. Learn more at justdrive.com.
Trips to the near side, right back to throw is McCown. Under some pressure, just heaves it down the left sideline, underthrown and intercepted. Intended for Jermaine Kearse, picked off by Matt Milano. He runs right, gets out across the 45, and is brought down at the Bills' 46-yard line.
Welcome back to Inside the Jets. Eric Allen and Erik Coleman. We are at Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Really good spot there with Rontez Miles. If you missed any of tonight's action, you can check it out on all our Jets social platforms. But we have a second player guest segment, which is presented by M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Let's bring in one of the top performers on this team in 2018, kicker Jason Myers.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Jason, I got to start with a stat here. Did you know that you have, well, you obviously do know this, that you have 4 field goals of at least 55 yards this season? That ties the NFL mark for most 55-yard field goals or more in a season. You're only 10 games through.
Yeah, it's a lot of deep kicks, but it's when you have a stronger leg, you get thrown out there a lot for some kicks, and in my past I've had some longer attempts that haven't gone my way, so it's nice to kind of get some to go through.
So talking about the technique that goes behind kicks, I know nothing about kicking. When you're kicking a field goal 55 yards plus, is it similar to golf? Do you keep the same stroke as you would on a 30-yard field goal? What is the technical part behind it?
Yeah, I mean you definitely have to try and keep the swing the same. Whether a short one or a longer one. Sometimes a lot of guys overswing on 55. Especially in New York when it's kind of breezy and a little cooler.
Probably,
yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So you just try and hit the same ball, and you just got to know what your leg strength is and where you're kind of maxing out at, and just kind of go from there.
And how do you play the wind? Because I think that's always interesting to watch how you kick the ball. You may start off on the right, and then it ends up coming right down the middle.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of goes along the same lines. You got to know what your ball's going to do in the wind. That's what pregame's for too. You kind of see where the ball's starting to move more, distance wise. So I try and find, where, if I hit a straight ball, if it's a left to right wind, where it starts to move, and as the further I go back, I got to kind of give more and more room for the wind to push it.
How does the cold impact you? Because you played in some cold weather games of late. I think about Chicago and the wind. Obviously, yesterday here at MetLife Stadium, I was on the field pregame. I was freezing. Obviously, I'm a little soft. But they always say that the ball travels better when it's warmer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the ball compresses, and, when it's cold air, that ball doesn't compress as much. But, yeah, it makes it tough. The ball does not go as far, especially, like kickoffs and stuff like that. But, thankfully it's kind of been kind of chilly around here, practicing, so I've been kind of getting used to it and getting a good feel for it. And, during games, you kind of, the juices get flowing and you get warmed up a little bit more, so it's pretty good to stay warm out there.
Well, when you're lining up for the longer field goals, Jason, do you have to not hit it the same? Because you said it's the same approach, but longer you go, don't you have to take a little bit off the height? No.
Try not to.
No.
If I was back, into the wind from 55, 60, then you might have to. But that's when a lot of guys, they'll rush up the middle and try and get their hands on the ball. So you just gotta kind of hit the same ball.
What's the longest you've ever hit from any game and then practice?
Games 58. Did that twice, and then practice probably 65, 70.
70.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
So I always wondered this. Do you get jealous or mad at kickers? You're from San Diego.
Yep.
Do you get mad at the kickers that get the kick on the West Coast in the wonderful weather and understanding that you kick in the Meadowlands and playing in Buffalo and all these tough conditions?
It's different. I played down in Jacksonville, and I got kind of spoiled with that weather. It's always warm. But you come up here, it's fun. I like the challenge. We had a couple games there, against the Vikings, then going to Chicago where, it was chilly and the wind was blowing pretty hard. So, it's a fun challenge. It kind of adds a little bit more dynamic to kicking on Sundays. So it's fun.
What was your summer experience like? You were at the Seattle Seahawks. They put you on waivers, and the Jets. It was basically a couple days before the regular season. You're talking August 21st. They put in a claim for you.
Yeah, I mean it was a quick turnaround. I got let go in Seattle. They went with Seabass and wanted to go that direction.
Sebastian Janikowski.
Yep. So I, drove my car to Boise, left it at my brother-in-law's house, flew back to Scottsdale. Next day, turned around, came out here on a red eye, went straight to practice, and then played in that third preseason game about 36 hours later. So it was a quick turnaround, and then it's kind of kept rolling because Taylor Burlett was here. He was doing a good job. Knew how to compete. But it was fun. I just kind of took it one day at a time, and it was nice to get that 3 to 4 days off before the season started to get some sleep.
What was that competition like with Janikowski? Did you think going in while you were there that okay, they're leaning that way? Did you have your mind prepared that okay, well, I might have to make a move here, or you didn't know?
I'm a competitor. He'll probably be a Hall of Famer when he's done.
Right.
But I wanted to go in there and beat him. Didn't go that way, but I was kicking really well up there. So I knew, even though that didn't work out, that there'd be a spot somewhere out there for me. I didn't know exactly where it was. Blessed that it came here in New York, but I'm a competitor and I want to beat everybody. So that's just kind of my mindset.
You've kicked as well as anybody in the National Football League this season. If you're putting together an All-Pro team, Erik Coleman, I would make this guy my kicker.
Absolutely, 91% right now.
Yeah, 21 to 23.
Man, you can't beat that. So let me ask you this: growing up, you played soccer, right?
Yep.
So were you a big fan of football? Were there any kickers that you looked up to when you were growing up?
When I first started kicking, Nate Cadian was kicking for the Chargers. I grew up a Charger fan when I was young, so I would always keep an eye on him. Other than that, I enjoy watching guys kick. Throughout the league, I love kicking. It's fun for me, and I just kind of, from when I first started kicking to even now, I watch every game on, on film and just see how guys did and just kind of keep track of everybody. So it's fun.
How much pride do you take in the touchbacks? Because yes, you're kicking well in the field goal department, but you have 39 touchbacks this year. So that means the Jets don't have to cover a lot of these kicks. I mean, they're going down there. They're going to be prepared for it. But automatically, if you're putting your foot on the ball properly, which you have been, 39 times they're starting their drives at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, Tez and the guys, they want to make plays sometimes. So they're trying to get me to hang it up. But, Warriors want some touchbacks right now. And, it's a good challenge, too. Up here it gets difficult, when it gets windy and cool. But, I pride myself on, being able to hit touchbacks or, if they want it hung up, to be able to do that. So, I work hard on that in the off season, so it's nice to see it come, full circle.
So, can we talk about? We had a couple of the offensive linemen on the show earlier in the season, and we talk about how that O line is like a team within itself. Mm-hmm. And on special teams, it's usually the kicker, the punter, the long snapper, and it's usually that group. How well have you guys bonded as a group? And is that the same thing that you've experienced with the Jets?
Yeah, definitely. Tom and Locke, they welcomed me with open arms right away. We had great chemistry right away. We spent a lot of time together. Our meetings aren't as long as everybody else's. So we're in the locker room a lot, hanging out. Working out in the weight room. We hang out a lot off the field also. And they're great guys. We're all around the same age, so it's very easy for us to just hang out. But we have a great chemistry. Those guys are great. They're great at what they do. They make my job kicking field goals really easy because they're both, Tom's a great snapper. Locke has great hands. So, I love working with those guys, and it's awesome.
Your snapper, Lachlan Edwards, is from Australia. So has he got into the golf mix as well? Is he your golfing buddy here?
I don't golf during the season, unless it's bye week. But he says he golfs a lot, so if I'm still here next year, we'll have to get out or just meet up in the off season and get some golf in. I enjoy a lot of golf, so I don't know if he's gonna keep up with that. But
yeah, so we were just talking about it before we came on air. Is that you're gonna get away for a couple of days? You're actually gonna go back to Scottsdale, right? And you got some time booked to do what?
Yeah, going back there for 2 days. Play a lot of golf and then come back and hang out with my wife. So.
Is that something you've talked to Jermaine Kearse about? Because Kearse recently got a chance before the season, obviously, got a chance to play with Jordan Spieth.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was in Seattle and I was playing a lot up there, and then when I got picked up here, a lot of the guys I was playing with there, like one of the first things that everyone told me was make sure you hook up with Kearse. He loves golf just as much as you do. So I'm excited to get out and play with him too.
Nice. Now, your lovely wife is in attendance.
Yes.
Have you guys, being new to New York, have you guys got out to the city and done any of the sightseeing or anything like that?
She's been a few times. We did the helicopter ride over the city. I'm not a big city guy. I'm more of a suburban guy. So she tries to drag me out there. We'll get some time down there in the bye week, but got a lot of family and friends that come out. I think more so because they enjoy going to the city than coming to the game on Sundays. But it's awesome. So it's good to be in a big city like this.
How challenging was the move, not only for you, because you have to be so locked in, laser focused that, okay, well, Seattle waved me, the Jets picked me up. I'm going to drop my car off in Boise. I'm going to get there. The next day, I think you were on the sidelines in Philadelphia, and you kicked a 50-what yarder against
58.
50 what?
8.
Yeah, 58-yarder against the Eagles. And right there in the press box, a lot of us said, well, the Jets have their kicker. But how about your wife, the challenges that she had as far as making the move over here, too?
Yeah, she's a stud. She handles everything at home. We have 2 awesome dogs, too, and she takes care of them when I'm away. So, she moves everything out for us and takes care of all that stuff. So, I literally just focus on kicking and, enjoying playing football. So, she's helped me through a lot, especially this last year moving out of Jacksonville. So it's awesome having her, by my side and, supporting us through everything.
What kind of dogs do you have?
One's a big boy, he's a 90-pound, probably like a border collie mix, and then one's like a shepherd terrier, kind of 40, 45-pound guy. They're both getting kind of old, but they're awesome dogs.
That's awesome. You know who's a big dog fan on the Jets? And I don't know if you had an opportunity to bring your dogs over there with Leonard Williams too. Have you seen photos of those guys?
I have not seen photos. They're big boys.
What kind of dogs is he have?
Oh my! I don't even know what the size. What they're called because they're human beings. They are bigger than. They're bigger than me.
Oh my goodness!
And he feeds them a bunch of raw food and all this other stuff. Hey, I asked Rontez Miles about this before, but what was it like inside the facility today? I know the guys were very down, and that's obvious. A 41-10 loss to the Buffalo Bills on a 4-game losing streak. This team, Jason, what's it like, and how can this team rebound at this point?
It's tough. You have a lot of guys that great guys that are competitors, and when something like that happens on a Sunday, it's tough. Especially going to a bye week where you got to think about it for 2 weeks, but. We've stayed tight through everything, so I think there's going to be, everyone's going to kind of get away, clear their mind, and then come back and, ready to work and just, really take pride in, putting our best foot forward for these last 6 games and, try and get some wins going through the end of the year.
How does a guy from the West Coast wind up at Marist, by the way?
I didn't have many offers coming out. Doesn't go the junior college route, and they called late. Enjoyed my time out here. It's the first time I saw snow, so that might have done it for me. But, it worked out. It made, the road to the NFL a little tougher maybe because, smaller school. But I had a blast there for 4 years, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
So what advice would you give to a young aspiring kicker out there? I know it's a grind to make it to the NFL. You have to have some luck probably. Circumstances have to be right. What advice would you give to a kicker trying to make it to the NFL?
Just work hard and take advantage of every opportunity. I was given opportunity to go down to Jacksonville and compete for a job, and I wasn't going to let that slip out of my hands. So you just got to work hard, and when opportunity comes, because there's plenty of opportunities for guys out there, and you just got to take advantage of everything.
What position did you play in soccer growing up? And at what point did you say, I'm going to go over? Did somebody spot you and say, hey, man, you ever think about playing a little bit of football?
Yeah, I was pretty serious into soccer. I wasn't even going to play, football in high school. I was playing pretty high-level club. And then freshman year, a buddy that I played baseball, Little League with, he was kicking for the freshman team and broke his leg because he was playing running back too. And I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot, and fell in love with it. And just, from then on out, I kind of started to fall away from soccer, even though I still loved it. But, football was just, it's just something new to me, and I just had a blast doing it.
Were you, do you play different positions in high school, or did you stay solely a kicker? Just at high school, I'm talking.
Freshman year, I played a little bit of receiver and corner, but sophomore year, I started playing on varsity, so I was too small to.
You ever ask Brant Boyer, hey, if you're in the mood for a fake, I don't have bad hands, so maybe you can toss me the ball. Maybe
I can catch, and when the field's there, I can I got decent speed for a kicker. So if he wants to run something, we'll always be open for it.
Okay, well, Jason Myers, you're off to a hell of a start with the New York Jets. Enjoy your time in Scottsdale. You guys get away for a couple days, and you get back on the golf course. But we're looking forward to you setting some records here over the final 6 games. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be right back here on Inside the Jets.
Ernst & Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium, teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. At EY, they harness their veterans' potential and perspective to ensure success in the marketplace. Using their talents and strengths, they not only enhance their business, but they continue their critical mission to build a better working world. Visit ey.com/US/veterans for more information.
As a young boy, Gavin loved playing football. He lived and breathed it, wanted to go pro. Why, he'd spend hours upon hours just practicing his touchdown dances. And one day, while getting fitted for bifocals, he realized he was never much good at throwing, or running, or catching, or even kicking. Yeah, Gavin's chances of playing pro football were looking like 4th and long. Very long. But he did hear how Geico could save him money on car insurance, so he switched and saved. Then he did kind of a touchdown dance. At least he was still good at that.
Hi, football fans. This is Director Jared Maples with the New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness. It's our mission to protect New Jersey with our federal, state, and local partners. Of course, nobody knows our communities better than the people who live there. That's where you can help. If you see something that you suspect is out of the ordinary, report it. Together, we can keep our state safe. Remember, if you see something, say something. To learn more about what to look for, visit njhomelandsecurity.gov.
We haven't seen a superstar like this in years.
You're not kidding, Bob. The people need to know about this standout.
Introducing this year's most sought-after rookie, the M&T Bank Jets debit card. New on the scene, this fantastic plastic stands 2.125 inches tall and weighs a lean 0.2 ounces. This small but mighty paying machine is sure to be charging through checkout lines all season long.
Hey Jets fans, get your hands on the exclusive Jets debit card with Easy Choice Checking. It's free from a monthly maintenance fee and free from a minimum balance requirement, leaving you free from worry.
You know, I have a feeling we're going to be seeing this powerhouse everywhere soon.
No doubt about it. I want one on my team.
So show your love for the Jets and save on fees today. Rush to any M&T Bank branch or mtb.com/Jets today. M&T Bank, the official community bank of your New York Jets. Other transaction and service fees, including insufficient funds and overdraft fees, may apply to this account. Member FDIC.
Hey, Jets fans, New Jersey Motor Vehicle Chief Administrator Sue Fulton here to welcome you back for a brand new season of action-packed NFL football and to warn you about the dangers of texting while driving. Sure, fines and penalties are steep, but did you know you're also 23 times more likely to get into an accident if you text and drive? Or that taking your eyes off the road for just 5 seconds at highway speeds is like traveling the length of a football field blindfolded? That's not a winning drive, Jets fans. Learn more at justdrive.com.
They couldn't play football without us. We built this stadium. You couldn't tailgate without us. We probably built the road that got you here. Most of all, we promote economic development. That means investments in infrastructure and construction to provide opportunities for developers, union contractors, and members of Operating Engineers Local 825. We're ELEC, the Engineers Labor Employer Cooperative. We build the infrastructure New Jersey and the Jets rely on.
Advance your career at Centenary University's School of Professional Studies. With accelerated scheduling and competitive pricing, it's convenient for busy adults to earn an MBA, undergraduate degree, or certificate. Centenary graduates work in hot fields like social media marketing, criminal justice, data analytics, health administration, and sports management. At Centenary University, they're committed to your success. Learn more at sps.centenaryuniversity.edu.
Barkley back to throw on 3rd down and goal. Steps up at the 15. Bullets one into the end zone. He's got Zay Jones. Touchdown right underneath the Jet goalpost in front of Buster Screen.
Welcome back to Inside the Jets. Eric Allen and Erik Coleman. We are broadcasting live from Vanderbilt Sports and Spirits inside the Wyndham Hamilton Park Hotel. Wow, an hour goes fast here. We had Rontez Miles and Jason Myers. Myers has been playing so well. 21 of 23, 4 kicks of at least 55 yards this season.
That's such a weapon for your team when you can have a kicker who you can rely on, who can hit those deep field goals, and then on kickoffs, who's getting touchbacks all the time. It's such a weapon for your team.
Overall, You could make an argument that the Jets' most consistent unit this year has been special teams. Now, they did give up the fake punt to the Buffalo Bills. Logan Thomas, the former Virginia Tech quarterback, got him on that. But overall, Brant Boyer's units have really done a nice job.
They have been lights out this season. You know, I have to give them a lot of credit. You know, we had some of the star players come on this show, and they're committed to playing special teams and dominating, helping this team win at all costs. And you can see it how they play. You know, they've been great covering kicks, punts. Lachlan Edwards has been phenomenal punting the ball this year. Really a big asset to your team.
And the guy who was here in segment 2, Rontez Miles can really help this team down the stretch. I mean, this guy, core teams player, 26 special team stops in 2017, plays with his hair on fire. I love his personality.
Oh, I love it too. And he has one of those infectious attitudes. You know, he's become one of the core leaders on this team, a great player. He plays the game, like you said. He's relentless out there, and that's what it takes to be a great special teamer. It's all about attitude and effort, and he has the skill set to go out there and dominate and make plays. 26 tackles. I don't think people understand how many special teams tackles that is.
All right, we got to thank a couple people before we get to a couple topics. Michelle's back in the studio. Justin's here every week. Bree, Jack, Frank the Tank, our production crew here as well. Across the street, David Vega is on the controls, making sure that we are covered on all the Jets platforms. But, something that Rontez talked about, which struck out to me, was we got a lot of young guys, a lot of energy, but they're making some mistakes along the way, and he thinks it's a growth process.
It is, and they do have a lot of young guys who are passionate about this game. And playing in the NFL on this big stage, you're going to play some huge games. And typically the teams who calm down the fastest usually perform the best. And when you have some young guys on the team who haven't been through these situations, it makes it tough because emotions get into the game. When you get too emotional, it takes away from your thought process and what your eyes tell you, and your reaction is a little bit slower. So the more experience they get, the better off they'll be. This is a young team. They're very talented. I'm excited. Despite what happened last week, I'm excited what the future holds for the Jets.
When you're speaking about the future, you're speaking about a guy who was not on the field for the Jets in Week 10. That's Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. You know, missing Sam Darnold on that field, that's a big piece of your team. He's your general. He's the leader of this team. You know, he is very young, but at that quarterback position, he has done a great job of being a leader. He has some things that he needs to work on, some lumps that he's going to go across because he's so young. But I think that the Jets are definitely in good hands with Sam Darnold at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and I'm certainly not saying he's arrived, and nor is he saying that. My point is, when you discuss the Jets in the future, it's going to be about how has this guy developed. And he's only 9 games into his NFL career.
Yeah, you know, when you look at the teams.
Or 9 that he's played.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you look at the teams, typically every season, when you get into the playoffs, the conference finals, there are usually 4 really good quarterbacks playing there. And it takes a great quarterback for you to get to where the Jets want to go, which is winning Super Bowls, to get back on that track. And I think they're in good hands with Sam Darnold. He is going to be a great player. I'm excited about him. He learns from his mistakes. He has the great attitude. He has all the tools physically. And this is something that the Jets been waiting for a long time.
You have an off season to put some more pieces around Sam Darnold. And
a lot of money.
And a lot of money, a lot of financial flexibility, and that is certainly going to happen. But this week, because we will not be here next week, Erik Coleman, when that Jets coaching staff does the self-scout, what do you think they're going to come away with offensively, defensively? You got 30 seconds.
Well, you know, one thing that happens with self-scout is for coaches, they get to see their tendencies. Are they doing something on first down? Are we running the ball too much? Do we need to throw in some play action? You know, also, you get to evaluate your players. During the season, it gets tough to evaluate. You watch that game film. You go in week to week, you have the next opponent. When you have that bye week, you get a chance to look at your players. Are they performing up to where we think, up to our standard, and what do we need to do to make the changes?
Well, the Jets will get back at it in 2 weeks against the New England Patriots, and the Patriots will be hungry for a victory. They just got it handed to them in Tennessee. But Erik Coleman and I will be back after our bye next week. Thanks for watching and listening to Inside the Jets.
Young LLP is proud to be the exclusive professional business and accounting services sponsor of the New York Jets and MetLife Stadium, teaming with them as the official sponsor of the EY Coaches Club. At EY, they harness their veterans' potential and perspective to ensure success in the market.